Most earbuds these days seem to be in a race to see who can take up the most real estate in your ears, but these things are doing the exact opposite. They are shockingly small. When you first hold the case, it feels more like a keychain accessory than a piece of audio gear. It is honestly impressive how they managed to cram this much tech into something that weighs just over 3 grams per bud. Because they are so light, you almost forget they are even there after an hour or two, which is a massive win for anyone who finds standard buds a bit bulky or uncomfortable. Now, don't let the size fool you into thinking the sound is going to be thin or tinny. They have a surprising amount of depth, and the app is where the real magic happens. You can toggle between the signature profile, a balanced mode, or crank up the bass if you want a bit more thump during a workout. Speaking of workouts, the sweat resistance is a nice touch. You can toss them in your gym bag without worrying about them giving up the ghost after a few intense sessions. What really makes these stand out, though, is the multi-point connectivity. Being able to jump from a video on a laptop to a phone call without fumbling through Bluetooth settings is a total lifesaver. It just works, and that kind of seamless switching is usually reserved for much pricier gear. The ambient mode is also pretty handy for when you need to stay aware of your surroundings, like walking through a busy office or crossing the street. It lets in just enough sound so you aren't completely isolated from the world. Of course, there is a trade-off for that tiny footprint. You are looking at about 5.5 hours of playback on a single charge. For most people, that covers a commute or a solid block of work. But if you are a heavy user, you will definitely be leaning on that charging case to get through the day. It brings the total up to 20 hours, which is respectable, but it is not going to last you a long-haul flight without a top-up. Also, the touch controls can be a little sensitive given how small the surface area is, so it might take a few tries to get the hang of the taps without accidentally pausing your music. If you are someone who values portability above everything else, these are hard to beat. They disappear into a pocket, they sound better than they have any right to, and they handle the basics of modern connectivity without a hitch. They aren't going to replace high-end studio monitors, but for the price and the sheer convenience of having them with you at all times, they are a pretty clever little piece of engineering. If you want something that stays out of your way while still delivering a solid audio experience, these are definitely worth a look.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.